I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes down. I just happen to come up hard. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
I never took a straight path nowhere. Life's full of twists and turns, bumps and bruises. I live, I learn. I'm from that city full of yellow cabs and skyscrapers. It's hard to get a start in these parts without paper. Homie, I grew up in hell, a block away from heaven. That corner age 15 minutes, it move at 7. Pure snow, bag it then watch it go. Occupational options, get some blow or some hoes. Shoot the ball of the
What's going on, Facebook world? What's going on, YouTube world? It's Jack, the cigar enthusiast, and you already know what it is. I'm back with another segment of Virtual Smoke Deck. Today, we got some stuff in store for you. If you're checking in on this, or you're new to this channel, or what we got going on, if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and hit that share button, hit that like button, and also, man, go ahead and comment below for a shout out from your boy, Jack, the cigar enthusiast. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as give me a big thumbs up and press that notification bell so you can get all the updated content on what Jack, the cigar enthusiast has going on. I got a show in store for you guys today. No special guests, no nothing. We are simply out here just doing the damn thing and educating on business while smoking some cigars. But I want to get some stuff knocked out before we go ahead and get started into this virtual segment. If y'all having a good Sunday, go ahead and comment in the comment box and tell me what's going on. Tell me how your Sunday went, whether you went to church, whether you watched your favorite team in football, play a terrible game, or you watched them play a good game. I want to hear all about it. This segment is being broadcasted from Illinois, man. I had to come out here. I had to come out here for some family stuff, and you know, we out here just kind of doing this dang thing, man. We stay on the road. We gotta stay, doing what we do. So sorry if the quality is kind of blurry. We're not in our normal spot, and sorry if for some apparent reason we end up Xing out or anything of that nature. That is not the intention of today. But more of the story, man, we gonna have a freaking good time, man. So like I said, if you sat this Sunday up and you watched your favorite football team play a terrible freaking game like the Eagles did today, man, tell me all about it, because I want to know. Because I tell you what, man, those country boys is making me damn mad, man. Day in and day out, every freaking week, we playing like some damn scrubs. But you know what? It is what it is. It does seem like the internet is doing really bad right now. So we're going to try to make this work the best possible way we can. So y'all just bear with me. Let me try to figure this out for 2 seconds. If you're watching, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. Go hit that share button, because we got some stuff in store. And if you watching, man, grab your notepad, grab your sticks. I got my Ciroc brandy and my ginger beer. For all my folks that know me, that Ciroc brandy and ginger beer is something amazing, man. It's truly one of them, man. That's all we're gonna say. It's damn good. It's damn good. I'm sorry we struggling today with the view, but we're gonna make it happen. I think it's probably gonna get better over time. I got my producer that tells me how everything is going. She just chimed in. My lovely wife, Renisha Jackson, baby. Thanks for watching, love. And we're gonna have to figure this out, baby. But anyway, so today we got some good stuff in store for you guys, and I'm really excited about what we got going on. And I think personally, you're gonna learn a lot from it. I mean, it really helped me. I didn't have nobody tell me what I'm about to tell you guys when I first started out. I just kind of ran with this and did what I could to the best of my ability. And we are sitting here doing some things that, man, what's up, Marion? Watching from Houston. My God, man, thanks for tuning in for this virtual smoke deck, man. what you smoking on. If you got your cigars ready, let's get ready to light them up. But today's segment is going to be an interesting one. I mean, when I say we are going to be going into some details on some stuff that is really, I think, beneficial for people that's strictly trying to run. All right. I think we back. I had a disruption in the service, and I apologize. Like I said, we don't usually do this in this setup, so bear with me on the connectivity problems, but we gonna get this right. But more of the story, man, we about to smoke on something good. Tonight I pulled out a big boy for this segment because I feel like we're talking about big boy conversation. We're talking about conversation that you really need to understand when you're sitting here trying to start a business, right? What I tell people is my logo, not my logo, but my saying is people talk business while smoking these, right? You meet a lot of people while smoking just these little things right here. I'm talking about people that can literally change the trajectory on whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I mean, it's best to know some of the things that I'm about to talk to you guys about today, because I mean, like I said, if somebody would have told me this a little bit earlier, I think Dapper D's would have been started 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So if you're tuning in, go ahead and give me a what's up. I'm about to get the lighting, and we about to get this thing cracking off, man. Tell me about your football team. Did they do trash today? Did they do good today? Did they not do nothing today? Like, tell me what it is. Because I tell you what, them Eagles did not show up to freaking play. We end up tying with the damn Bengals. Like, how the hell is that even possible? But, you know, Joe Burrow is a good quarterback, but shit, Carson Wentz is a terrible one. But, man, look, we gonna get it right one of these days. So today we're smoking on a Pappy Van Winkle Toro. This is a traditional stick. This is one of their Maduro sticks. I mean, absolutely freaking phenomenal stick. You cannot go wrong with this stick. This is a stick that we sell on DapperDCigars.com, which is right below in that tickler, man. So if you're interested in not only looking at this stick, but looking at plenty more sticks, man, go ahead and check out DapperDCigars.com, man. I promise you won't be disappointed. Now, today we're talking about something that I think is very beneficial to most. And it looks like my connection is still messing up pretty bad. Give me a second. I'm sorry, because some of these situations that we run into during the virtual smoke deck is not something that we can kind of control once we go live. Once we go live, that's when we really start to see things. That's when we start to really, kind of put it all together. So I do apologize for the inconvenience it may cause. But anyway, man, like I was saying, today we're talking about something that I believe is very beneficial to most, especially if you're in the business of trying to start a business. If you're looking for how to finance your business venture, if you're looking for how to find investors, I'm about to give you the inside scoop from a business owner perspective. I'm going to tell you some stuff that literally once you get done with here, you're ready to manifest a business plan that is unlike anybody. And now that you have already manifested your business plan, now you can sit here and learn how to fund that business plan and how to make it happen. But first and foremost, man, this is a virtual smoke deck. So we got to talk about some cigars, man. Like I told you, I'm smoking on the Pappy Van Winkle Traditional Toro. This is a phenomenal smoke, a more prestige smoke. Just a well-rounded freaking cigar, man. So today I'm going to do something a little different. And what I really want to get into is some cigar news, right? Some things that is happening in the cigar industry that we need to talk about. Especially for all my cigar smokers that's watching, you definitely need to know what's going on. Okay. Marshawn smoking on that Oliva Series O while watching from Washington. Let's go, baby. Thanks for the support. Like I said, cigar news, man. So if y'all haven't watched, the new restrictions placed on Cuba for all my American folks that love Cuban cigars and just looking to go to Cuba one of these days, which is something that was on my bucket list here a couple months ago. I'm sorry. It has become harder to go to Cuba. There's been restrictions not on the places you can stay in Cuba, but also what you're allowed to bring back as far as how much you have to declare, which is only $1,000. For my people that buy cigars, you know how quick it is to go through $1,000, especially if you're buying them at the box. And this is something that, it really does hinder you. Now, into some other things, Davidoff just released their new cigar. I want to say it's called the Double Robusto or something like that. It's a limited edition, only 4,500 boxes sold. Dapper D's is one of the people that is actually getting this stick. So, definitely go check it out if you haven't already. Some more news going on. If you didn't know, like last month sometime, the FDA approved something that was major in the industry. And what that was is they passed a law that allowed cigar makers to produce cigars without having to submit it to the FDA, which is detrimental to the whole cigar making process, because now you got to sit here and go through all kind of approvals and stuff like that. Well, the cigar industry dodged that bullet, so we are good. So if you're not supporting your Cigar Rights of America group, you need to support your local Cigars Rights of America. We are really here trying to fight to make sure that we can keep cigars at a luxury base, as well as putting cigars in that limelight that produces prestige, that produces things like not having kids smoke this. This is not something that a kid want to pick up and smoke. If they do, this, hey man, they can come to Dapper D Cigars. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, some more things going on in the news. If y'all don't know already, the start of Cigar International has launched a cigar fest, which is all virtual. If you don't know, Cigar International does this huge cigar fest every year where they bring all kind of manufacturing companies out to pretty much give giveaways, man. And I tell you what, they have a bombing event, and I'm interested to see how it's really going to turn out online. Johnny Smokes from Johnny Smokes Uncut, he is part of the Cigar International family, man, and he spoke really highly of it. I've seen pictures and videos from the events that he had done in the past, and I mean they're just amazing. But today, I outside of cigar news, that's all I have for you guys today. But we're going to go ahead and roll into what the bulk of this conversation is going to be. And I'm going to relax a little bit because what I'm about to tell you guys, I want you to be able to digest it, right? Before we go ahead and continue on, man, I want to make a disclaimer. This was unscripted. This is uncut. But I want to make a disclaimer. And the disclaimer I want to make is there's a lot of things going on in today's society, man. Whether it's racial disparities, whether it's so justice inequality, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, or whatever. I got one solution for all of this, right? If we can literally sit down and start to love each other as kids do at a playground, I think we would not have none of these problems. I think a lot of these problems would diminish. Have you ever seen kids at a playground? These kids don't have no recollection of race. All they see is a human being and they want to play. So why can't we as adults see human beings and just have a conversation? See human beings and want to sit here and have a cigar with them? Because at the end of the day, you know, obviously I'm a black-owned cigar lounge, but a lot of people don't know I'm half white too. But I say on certain days I'm Cuban and Puerto Rican, but I'm a black male. So when people ask me, "Are you a black-owned business?" Obviously, the first thing I say is yes. But at the end of the day, the first thing that really come to mind is I'm a green and blue business owner. I only see green and blue. I don't care what hand it came from. I see green and blue, and that's either a blue 100 or a green 20 or whatever it is. That's all I see. So we gotta stop with all this racial inequality that's going on, man. We have to bring social equality to the forefront and stop saying, you know, to counteract Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, because that's not a reply that you say when you say blue lives matter. I'm just saying this came on my heart. I was told to say it by Jesus, so I said it. All right. Now let's get into what we was talking about today. Today we're talking about how to reel in investors as well as fund your business venture, right? If you come from a family like I come, my mama worked her butt off to make sure I had everything I needed to succeed. But at the end of the day, you know, she didn't leave me no trust fund. She didn't show me how to start a business. She didn't pay for me to go to college. I went to the military, and you know, part of my military experience, I was able to gain majority of this stuff. But you know, man, hey, what's up, Square? And that's even better than seeing that you were Square, Marshawn. So more of the story, right? I didn't have none of these things growing up. And I mentioned this in a lot of my segments because I really want to hit it home when they say a dollar in a dream. I literally had a dollar in a dream. Like that's all I did when I started Dapper these cigars. You know, I had the financials. I focused on my credit. I put time and effort. I included the right people into making sure that my business plan was perfected. Shout out to Brandon Carter, aka also an investor at Dapper D's, the only investor at Dapper D's. Now, I had people in my corner, right? So in order to have those people in my corner, I couldn't go there and have a half-ass plan. I had to sit down and I had to talk to them. I had to discuss my plan. I had to sell my business plan. Even even some stuff I'm about to tell you guys about here in a little bit. You know, when it was all said and done, they still wanted to say, "Well, I want to hear your plan again," because they want to see if it's gonna stick the same. If what we just did for you, is really your passion, right? And I'm passionate about cigars. I don't care if nobody watch. I don't care if nobody watches my YouTube videos. I care less if nobody go shop on my website. But because I'm passionate, because I know this, I already know I'm going to gain the supporters I need to make this happen, right? But passion only goes a long way. Only goes half of the distance. You got to have some capital behind that, right? Now, I get people all the time saying, well, Jack, I don't got a good paying job. Well, neither did I. Well, Jack, I don't have nobody I know that got money. Neither did I. I mean, well, Jack, you know, this, that, excuse. But guess what you can do? You can focus on your credit. You can make sure you have some assets in your name, whether that's buying a house, buying some stock, whatever it is. You can put forth the effort to make sure that you set up in a way that's going to magnify you. So whenever it is you're ready to start, whatever it is that you want to do or whatever God calls you to do, you're ready to do it. All right. Now, that leads me to finding investors, which is the first point I want to talk about today. I said this on my first cigar and business talk on the virtual smoke that when I broke down an entire business plan. I told you what to put in that business plan, how to word it, how to make banks fall in love with you, right? Cigar went out. So I broke all that down, right? But how to find investors, right? You'd be surprised who's willing to invest into you. I always tell people, I got a rule. My rule is it takes 7 seconds for somebody to judge you off your initial. You ain't even gotta open your mouth. They're gonna look you up and down and judge what kind of character you are. If you giving them something to judge negative, that's what they're gonna do. People is people. You know, the hardest thing to do is live life. People gonna judge you. People gonna hate you just because of what you look like. But don't give them no extra reason to judge you in a negative way. But your character travels a long way. Man, I got millionaire friends. I kid you not. I got millionaire friends that I talk to often. Man, you know, what me and my wife got going on, like I said, you know, God be the glory. Because we've been put in the position to do what we were just told to do. And it manifested in meeting the right people in your network. One of my biggest things I do is network. I spend the most money, not really, but I spend the most money on network. So what I'm saying is I spend all the effort into meeting new people, into having that that connection with different people, because you never know who you're gonna talk to while smoking these. Now I had some people, you know, in my business venture that looked at me and was like, you know, Jack, based on how you broke it down, I would love to invest in you, but I'm not a cigar guy. I can't get behind it. Hey, easy day. But I had one guy, interviewed him. I told y'all about it, Brandon Carter, that supported me. But I tell you what, investors, people that's looking to put money into you, are doing it with some type of capital gain. They judge you first, and then they see if what you're pitching to them makes sense. If that's what can bring them a capital gain. If it cannot bring them a capital gain, then we're doing something entirely wrong, right? They're not going to invest. They're not going to look at it. They're not going to do anything, right? So first, you got to establish yourself and your character. What kind of person are you? What kind of perception are you leaving them? And once you leave that perception that is sufficient, now you got them. Now you got their ear. Now, once you get their ear, it's about winning their heart, because that's what's going to make the decision. Their heart is what's going to make the decision. They can process everything, but if their heart's not syncing up with everything that's you saying going into their head, then guess what? You're going to lose that battle, right? So how do you sit here and win the battle of the heart? It's simple. You got to know your industry. You got to know your product, and you got to know who you're talking to. It's sales one-on-one, but it's not only sales. When you are starting a business, you should be a professional. I said a professional in that actual industry. You ain't even had to work one day in it. But you damn sure when you talk about that industry, you need to know what the hell you're talking about. Because if you do not know what you're talking about, people are not going to listen. People can sniff out bullshit quick. People did it in my first couple of videos on YouTube. They like, man, you just keep talking. Get to the point. What is this? All right, I'm going to get to the goddamn point. Shit. We going to talk. But more to the story, I said all that to say, you have to get to the nitty-gritty of things, right? You have to dissect the entire industry. The entire way is done. Now, how do you do that? You have to study your industry. You have to study your market. Once you understand your market, now you can pitch it to an investor. Investors don't really care too much about what you plan on doing with the business, how you know the business is going to be successful. Obviously, they want to hear about it, but they don't really care about that. Their bread and butter is when you get to that projections of year 1 to 3 projections, as well as your 12-month performer. And now I was taught a rule by a bank president, which I recently met before. He said, cut your income, your gross profits, and double your expenses. That way, if you can still show profitable off of that alone, then you have a sufficient performer or a proficient projections for those first 3 years. Now, once you have those projections, now you're ready to pitch this to investors. I heard Angela Yee, and I keep saying this because it just sits real negative on my heart. Somebody went to Angela Yee with a business proposition. She asked for documents. They said they don't have documents. They just need money. First of all, business 101. If you're in a situation where that is the case, shoot yourself. Actually, don't shoot yourself. Shoot your plan. Because you failed to execute, you failed to plan. All right? When you go to investors, you have to be able to sell your industry, sell your business plan, but be able to back it with numbers. And if you're not number savvy, then you need to have somebody on your team that is number savvy. So winning over investors is simple. Have a solid performer, have a solid projections that is relatable, right? I had one guy from this bank that I was looking at, which I'm about to break down those in a little bit. He was like, you know, your profit margins are almost at 40%. That's not realistic when other businesses are at 8 to 12. I said, well, clearly you don't have a clue about the cigar industry. These are the profit margins that we operate in, and these are actually on the lower end. And he was just like, what? You said that to me? Yeah, because I know my goddamn market. I know my industry. I know what we're doing. So when you know what you're doing, then you have a platform to stand on, and you have an ability to educate. When you get educated an investor on something, you got them. They could be a millionaire. Millionaires don't know everything. They had luck. They did some things good, or had some people, right people back them. They had luck. I don't mean they knew everything. So when you're able to educate your investor on what it is that you're doing, you're going to win them every time. Have you ever watched Shark Tank? If you haven't never watched Shark Tank, it's, you know, a panel of freaking millionaires that are evaluating small business owners to figure out if their plan is something that they're willing to invest in. Fair. You got about 3 minutes to pitch your plan. And then the first thing after you pitch your plan, they ask you this simple question. What is your numbers? If you're trying to go in business, can you answer that question? Because when people ask me about my numbers, certain things I can't shoot off. But majority of it, yeah, we're looking to do this. We can do this. This is how it's going to happen. Yada, 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 yada. You got to be able to break it down. What are your numbers? How is this going to show profit? When are they going to start seeing a return on their money? Because what you don't know is, actually, you probably do, but banks have this thing, right? People love seeing a bunch of money in an account. You know, I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of wealthy people. Wealthy people don't really care to see how much money is in their account, but they care to see how much assets they have and how much those assets are worth. Because guess what? If you sell all those assets, then now you have more money in your account. What banks do is when you have money sitting in an account, they use that money to invest into mutual funds, into business loans, into personal loans. And what they gain is the interest off of those loans. So they're going to keep your money in there where you're getting point something off of. And then when you go to they're using your money to get a 9%, 16, 17% interest off of it. So investors know that because they're sitting on a load of money. They already know they're not making nothing in their mutual funds. Mutual funds can make it anywhere between 9 to 12%. So they're making some, but their CDs, their savings accounts, all that stuff, they're not making anything. So when you're not making anything, you're always looking to invest into the next big thing. Okay, the next big thing is the next business owner that walk into their office and you know your shit. That's how you win over investors. But there's another thing to this. Now that we understand how to win investors, how do you find investors? So investors are called they call them angel investors. It's people that has a load of money, that has a budget and willing to invest in people. That's one way, angel investors. Another way is just talking to your family members. Another way is talking to the people you have networked with, people you done sat down and smoked a cigar with, the people you done worked with. Because just because they work with you and they your boss don't mean they don't own businesses. My last boss owned 5 businesses, wasn't making shit compared to what his business was making, but he realized he needed a practice because he's trying to open up another business. In order to get that information, he had to go work in the industry. So never discount anybody because of their position, because you don't know if they can change your trajectory. And then also there's other things like GoFundMe, Kickstart funds, and different things of that nature, where you can literally use the people, your friends and family, to fund your venture. It's simple. You got to go through a couple of the SEC certifications. You got to get approved to do it. Once you get the approval, you start raising money. Man, I literally had a lighter guy reach out to me and say, Jack, I love what you're doing. I think you'll be a great person for our product. Are you interested in some samples? And then he gave me, before he even started with all that, he gave me a complete breakdown of his company. He told me he raised 300-some-thousand just off of GoFundMe's and Kickstart events. Kickstart funds, campaigns. You don't got to know the people. All you guys got to do is have the persistency and the drive to get in front of those people. That's what being a business owner is. I get 4 hours of sleep. 4 hours of sleep because I'm putting time into my business. You got to be able to put time in your business. Now, another thing I want to talk to you guys about. Now that we understand how to find investors. And if you have any questions on this stuff, man, go ahead and comment below. I'd expand on it. If you got a question, I expand on it. The next thing is bank relationships. Now, when people think of bank relationships, they don't really think of bank relationships the way that I think of bank relationships. People think because you have a depository relationship with a bank, then you have bank relationships. It's simple. You think about whatever bank you bank with, and that's where your money go on the 1st or 15th or whenever you get paid, right? You get that money, you either save, you got a savings account, you get some loan, some car loans, some credit card from them. That's not a banking relationship. That's what they doing to secure that you keep that depository relationship. Because the more money you deposit into their bank, the more money they can use to fund different events. Y'all not hearing what I'm saying. The more money you keep depositing into that bank, the more money that they can use to invest into other things. Car loans, mutual funds, Roth IRAs, business loans. Y'all get what I'm saying? That is not a banking relationship. A banking relationship is when you can sit down with an executive vice president of a branch of a bank and pitch an idea. Have lunch with them. You're sitting down with somebody that can literally change the trajectory with endless funds of your future, right? Now I know some people, I don't want to start my business out with no debt. I don't want to do this. Well, guess what? If you ain't got no goddamn money, then you got to start your business off with some debt. But you don't get that type of debt with a 500 credit score or a 600 credit score. You gotta be up there. You don't get those type of sit downs and meetings unless you have a solid business plan, unless you can go through every single hard question with a logical answer. You just don't get that. You understand? So you got to have all these ducks in the rows when you're doing this stuff. All right. So when you sit down, for me, when I funded my business, I'm gonna give y'all my whole rundown. When I first started when I said I was gonna go do Dapper D's, I developed my business plan. I sat down with the SBA. The SBA, told me what I needed to tweak on my business plan. Perfected it. Found an investor. I knew the amount of money that I needed to get. I knew the amount of money I had and the amount of money I needed to get to make sure I was a strong candidate when I presented myself to the bank. Because you have to have this thing called cash injection into your business, right? If you're doing an SBA loan, which is when they guarantee the bank that they will pay your loan if, God forbid, you default. That is low risk for the bank because they already know they're going to get 75 to 90% of their loan back anyway. Now, you have another way of locking in loans, which is your commercial or standard business lending. That's when you have some type of collateral, whether it's real estate, a house, or something that you can put up that is sufficient to equal the loan amount that you're asking for. If you have something that is equivalent to the loan amount that you're asking for, you go through a commercial lender. Now, these people, when you go to big banks like Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Navy Federal, look, if you're not doing something over $750,000 and more, they ain't really trying to hear you, right? They ain't really trying to hear you. You need to go to a local or a regional bank, all right? A local or a regional bank. So find all your local and regional banks and ask if you can have a meeting with the small business vice president or a commercial lender or anything of that nature, because you need to have that conversation first. If you start just submitting applications, you're going to get denied. See too many business owners that's successful in the industry now talk about I went through 80 banks and didn't get approved. I went to this, I went to that. I tell you what, not supposed to brag. I went to 4 banks. Kid you the freak not. The 4 banks that I actually submitted my applications to, 2 denied me because of COVID. 1 was working with me, and the 4th one gave me a better deal than the 3rd one. Why? Because I had all my ducks in a row when I had a conversation with them. I sat down. When it was time to do a meeting, I showed up and showed the hell out. But my last meeting was really like one of the ones that changed it, man. The dude sat down and had lunch with me. And I just blew him away. Blew him away to the point that he went back to his bank president and told him all kind of great things about me. I'm gonna get to that here in a little bit. Took me 3 months. 3 months to secure my funding for Dapper D Cigars. Yes, I got funding for it. Heritage Bank out of Georgia funded me. They also have a branch out here in Jacksonville that funded me as well. I mean, just a phenomenal bank. So if you're ever looking into trying to learn more about commercial lending or trying to get SBA loans, look at Heritage Bank. They fund everybody all across the world. You just got to have your ducks in a row. So anyway, he go back and he starts talking to the bank president about me, man. Talked really highly of me. And 3 months got by. I got the approval from the bank. I got the approval from SBA, and then I closed. And my closing, which was Wednesday. My closing on my financing for Dapper deals was Wednesday. Congratulations to me. Yay! Woo! But anyway, the bank president stepped in the freaking room and was like, man, I heard so many great things about you. I don't smoke cigars, but I can't wait to hear about all the success you have. Now, a little of that I think was sincere, but majority of that was from a banking perspective. They're getting an interest rate, which the interest rate is not high at all, but they see an opportunity where they can fund everything else that I potentially have, right? So when you talk about funding, right, it's not just about, when you talk about banking relationships, you're not just talking about something, thank you, love. You're not talking about something that it just can fund, your business venture. That banking relationship was going to fund anything that you want to do. I sat in this conference room with big dogs in this damn bank. And they said, they looked me in my face, said, whatever it is that you want to do, we fully support you 110%. Doesn't matter the amount, we got you. That is banking relationships. When you can sit here and sit down with the decision makers of big decisions, that is what you call a banking relationship. So I challenge everybody that's looking to start a business is to establish banking relationships. How do you do that? It's simple. I just told you. Know your industry. Have projections that it's divisive. And be able to explain it. And the last thing that you have to do, you have to execute your business plan. That's the only contingency I have. We'll fund whatever it is that you want to do, but you have to be able to execute your business plan. Execute your business plan. You execute your business plan with no problem when you have a solid plan where you know what the hell it is that you're talking about. You got to know what you're talking about. You got to follow your plan. You got to make the money they give you work. And I'm telling you now, October 1st, we launching we launching our campaign trail to the grand opening of Dapper D's, man. We got some stuff in line for what it is that we trying to do. But I tell you what, it would have never been a possibility. It would have never been able if I didn't establish banking relationship, if I didn't learn how to find investors and just everyday normal people. You understand? So I challenge everybody. If you're looking to start a business, have your ducks in a row. Understand this shit is not easy. Right? Man, if everybody can be a business owner, they'll go out here and do it. It is not easy. You have to focus on your mental. You have to understand your industry. You have to do everything that you need to do to win. That's what we're here to do. We're here to win. Stop giving yourself excuses. Stop giving yourself objections. Stop speaking fear of failing into the atmosphere. I won't fail. Hell no, I won't fail. Because I have too much of a support system behind me that is literally leading me every day, that is helping me get understanding on things I don't have understanding about. And when you have a team of people that want to see you win, there's no way to fail unless you fail. And the only way you fail is if you start speaking of failure. All right? So understanding business is a little bit deeper, but understanding how to get those relationships. You want to be able to create those the banking relationships, not depository relationships, true banking relationships, where you're able to sit down with the president of a bank and tell them your plan. When people, after you get done explaining your plan, just be like, man, I'm so amazed at how articulate and how knowledgeable you is about what it is that you're doing. Damn right. I'm not here to fail. And that's what you got to say. I'm not here to fail. And every time you get an opportunity, you take every single opportunity and you run with it. Run with it. With that being said, man, I'm Jack the Cigar Enthusiast, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of the Virtual Smoke Deck when we talked about, having those finding investors and also having those banking relationships. Kind of switching gears a little bit. Next week, as soon as it come up, it's coming. It's slow. It is slow. Next week, we're announcing our winner of our September giveaway. We are giving away 5 Project 40 Alec Bradley. Shout out to Alec Bradley, man. They produce some freaking phenomenal cigars in a chat. A shotlit 25 count humidor that goes along with that. All you have to do is go to DapperDCigars.com and subscribe. Guess what? It ain't even something that you got to use. You got to think too much about, because as soon as you go to that website, it's going to pop up. Go ahead and put your name out, put your email down, subscribe to our newsletters and different things that we have to offer. And you get a chance to win. Next week, we're announcing that. Next week, we also have a phenomenal guest that I can't wait to bring in. Speaking of investors, this guy is freaking, oh my God. He owns like 80 houses in Ohio. He owns a capital firm. Like, this guy is really doing his damn thing. His goal by the end of next year is to own 350 houses. He'll own 350 houses that'll generate $100,000 a month. Kind of understanding me. There's more to this money game than just, buying shit. You got to have a strategy. This man is trying to own 350 houses by next year. He would do it. He has a phenomenal plan. And then once those houses paid off, guess what? He's rolling into dough. That $100,000 turns into $1 million a freaking month. Because that's how you do it. It's about your strategy. With that being said, man, go ahead and make sure you go to DapperDCigars.com to subscribe. We're here every single Sunday. Next week, we'll be back in Jacksonville. We're here every single Sunday doing what we do best, the Virtual Smoke Deck. And we have a special guest today, my baby, the one I do it all for, my Denver Pooh. She is.
You can say it.
You can say what?
You can say it first.
You can say it first. We out here doing it for her. We do it for the kids, man. Everything we do, we're looking to build a culture, but to build a legacy. Something when she wakes up, when she's 21, 24, she ain't gotta worry about working for somebody else, because she gonna take on the legacy of Dapper D's. She gonna be doing it, right?
Yeah.
You already know. Man, with that being said, man, I'm Jack the Cigar Enthusiast. I hope you enjoyed this segment of the Virtual Smoke Deck. What's up?
Done?
I am done. You want to say something to everybody?
I'm gonna go in this swimming pool.
Oh my God. Well, clearly y'all see what I gotta do when I get done. Marshawn, I appreciate you dropping in, man. My guy. I tell you what, Marshawn, I want you to hear it first from me. If you need any help on opening that HVAC system, I got you. The HVAC repair company, I got you, bro. And thank you for your service. Anything you need, I got you. Let me know. With that being said, I'm Jack the Cigar Enthusiast. Make sure you go to DapperDCigars.com and shop our affordable premium and boutique brands, as well as go follow us on Instagram as well as Facebook at DapperDCigars.com. And with that being said, I'm Jack the Cigar Enthusiast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope you learned something from this segment, but I'm gone.
Oh, Daddy.